Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ISO GOAT here, back again for another quick video. Let me start this by saying I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I have financial experience whatsoever. Do not invest in anything solely based off my opinions or anything that I say in this video until you've done your own due diligence and your own research first. Never throw in more money than you're willing to lose, and also make sure you have a firm understanding of crypto before throwing in any kind of money. First things first. Hey. Shout out to my brothers far and wide, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Happy Founders Day, fellas. Hope you all enjoyed as well. All right, back to everything. Give me 1 second. I got a couple updates for you guys, and then there's some questions that I want to answer at the end of this video as well. So shout out to Andrew. Update DCG/Genesis is under active investigation by the SEC. Sources confirm that there are multiple whistleblowers that have come forward. Things are getting so spicy, and now we have more involvement with the SEC. This should be wonderful. And that's the digital currency group for those that don't know. Next thing, shout out to Watcher Guru. Justin Judge grants Celsius Network ownership rights to $4.2 billion in customer crypto deposits. This is why I keep telling you guys you need to protect yourself, okay? Not your keys, not your crypto. Just keep that in mind next time you decide to leave your stuff on an exchange and it goes insolvent. Just as a thought, trying to help you, don't shoot the messenger. Next thing, shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf. This is a Jim Cramer tweet, so this should be very interesting. Jim Cramer is bearish on crypto this year and wants people to quit the game altogether. Now I'm bullish as I don't know what. I'm bullish as well. I think, like I said, we're probably going to be surprised whenever this thing does take off. But, that's just my opinions. Like I said, there is a reverse Jim Cramer index, so just something to keep in mind as a caveat. But you could look into that yourself. Next thing, that's the question. I'm going to answer that later on. This is actually a tweet by the Wall Street Bull. It has cryptocurrency predictions in 2025 for price. I'm not going to talk about price. I don't have price predictions. I can't give you that. I'm not even going to act like I do. I can't even beat around the bush and be like, hey, yeah, this is going to be like $10,000, so this is going to be like 20. No. But I know some of these will probably be substantially more than where they are now. Right now is literally like a discount. It might as well be free 99, just as a thought. So it has Bitcoin listed at $942,098, Ethereum $43,721, and then Ripple, which is now XRP, is $8,033. This is per, by the way. This is just a thought. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Next thing, shout out to the Black Swan Capitalist. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but when you least expect it, the institutional transition will be very rapid into utility blockchain protocols. Hashtag XRP, XLM, XDC. Right now we are in a bear market, and a lot of people think the United States is really far behind in regards to this technology and jumping on board. We see other nations already utilizing the technology, jumping on board, using it with different banks, different governments, different financial institutions, and I think it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. Whether it's a bear market, whether it's a bull market, when institutions come in, they're going to command control of the room. I'm just letting you know, and I don't think we're going to know when that happens, and I think we'll probably be surprised when it does happen. Literally just wake up and like, bam, market cap is like way higher than where it is at now. I think it's like what, like 1 trillion if I'm not mistaken? 1 trillion, 1 billion, one of those. Anyways, so just as a thought, like I said, and I definitely agree with that wholeheartedly. Next thing, this article is from Crypto Slate. I'm not going to go too far into it. Indonesia to set up cryptocurrency exchange to reform crypto regulation. Regulations are key, people. Regulations will be coming probably when we least expect it. I don't know where you guys are at, but if you're in the United States, right now they supposedly don't have regulation, okay? It's going to come quicker than people think, and a lot of people think this is going to be drug out. I think overnight it's just going to flip on its head, and it's going to be a big change, and it's going to knock a lot of people by surprise. This is just my thoughts in regards to this. Next thing, shout out to Blood of Crypto. I just like this tweet, so I just wanted to share it. All it takes is one announcement, and boom, your life is instantly changed. Patience, hashtag XRP. I could not say that any better. I sincerely agree with this 100%. Literally one announcement away. There's a lot of different factors that go into it, but I think that's interesting. Like I said, food for thought. Next thing, this is on federalreserve.gov. Federal Reserve updates FedNow service timing to mid-2023, marks the beginning to full-scale pilot testing. It's on the Federal Reserve website. You can actually look at it, just take a look, take the time, click on a couple things here and there. There's a lot of different tabs and everything. I just wanted to bring that to the forefront just to let you guys, look into it yourself. Next thing, I pretty much talked about this, but Bitcoin Magazine just in. Judge rules that Celsius users gave up legal rights to their Bitcoin by using the platform, and all the 4.2 billion of crypto deposits are now property of Celsius. I don't know how much more I can harp on this. Like, you need to protect yourself. You are not just going to leave your wallet on a table at a restaurant and thinking, somebody's just going to leave it there. Somebody's going to take your stuff. You have to protect it, okay? This is literal money, okay? Like, I don't know how much simpler that can get, but, if you don't want to take the necessary steps to protect yourself, I mean, pretty much anything can happen, okay? Security is important. Next thing, there's an article, it's called Distributed Ledger Technology in the Capital Markets, Gamechangers, Future Trends in Security Services. It's an article by HSBC, so definitely take a look at it. All this stuff I post on my page. There's literally like a Christmas list. Shout out to Alan, you're the man, because you have a lot of time on your hands. I don't know how you do this. You're like Inspector Gadget. Not quite sure. But anyways, check it out. It's posted on my page. I want everybody to take a look at it, read through it, skim through it, however you want to look at it, take the nuggets of information from it and interpret it how you want. Next thing, shout out to Mr. Huber. Your chance to silence me forever. Show me someone other than Joseph Lubin, this should get interesting, who ever bragged in international media about his friends at the SEC allowing him to run a token factory. If you find that, I will forever remain quiet. At the end of the day, connections are key, okay? And, I think it was Gary Gensler said it, but sometimes you have to pay to play, and I think that's what's going on with Ripple. Like I said, these high-level connections are going to be very important, and obviously, with this whole ETHgate and, the SEC lawsuit, we're kind of seeing some things exposed that potentially they may not have wanted out there. So this is just a thought. I just wanted to share that tweet. Shout out to you for that. Next thing, there's an article, it's 24 pages, Ripple, gaining momentum in cross-border payments. I'm not going to read through this whole thing to you guys, okay? This is something you could take the time to look at whenever you get, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. However you want to look at it. I'm just going to highlight one little portion of this. We're now at the tipping point of enterprise and bank use of the blockchain. That should say it all. I mean, I don't have to interpret it. I don't have to add anything extra. Literally verbatim, that is exactly what is going on in the world right now. So I'm not going to add my 2 cents in there. Mind you, this article is from 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, October 2018. It says Ripple and blockchain look to finally achieve legitimacy, and then it talks about some of the major companies using Ripple. Like, there's different categories and everything that they break down the technology. So it talks about Swift and the connections as well. So definitely something to take a look at if you do have a few minutes. This next thing, this is also posted on my page. I'm just going to take an excerpt out of it. I believe this is from IBM, if I'm not mistaken. As such, IBM and Ripple are in direct competition with Swift. Currently, industry giants such as Santander and SEB, as well as tech giants such as Google, are already a part of the Ripple innovative tech companies. Ripple platform, also as investors. For its product, Blockchain Worldwire, IBM is also cooperating with innovative tech companies coming from the payments environment, such as MBank and ClickX. Very interesting. This says basically that Ripple is a competitor with Swift. I mean, I guess it's kind of based on how you look at it, but I know they are a disruptive technology, and they are here to make things a lot easier in regards to payments around the world. Cross border, I think they're going to eventually do derivatives and a lot of other different markets. They're just finding a niche first, and then they're going to start branching off, kind of like a spider web. So definitely an article you guys can take a look at. I don't think it was too long of an article, if I remember correctly. And then it also talks about efficiency. There's a chart in here, so I just find this interesting. The efficiency and performance indicators of some major payment systems, and it lists different payment systems. It has Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, Visa, and Diem, and then also Ripple. So average TPS for Ripple, this is an older article because this has definitely changed, was 1,500. And that's TPS, I'm sorry. CBDC Private Ledger, Ripple claimed that it can handle tens of thousands of TPS in the initial phase, which can be increased to hundreds of thousands of TPS over time. So now, that means they can ramp this thing up to do as many transactions per second as needed, potentially, depending on, I don't know exactly what the TPS is, on a typical day or a regular basis. That I don't know specifically, but, I do think that is very interesting, especially when compared to some of the other Jesus Christ, payment systems. My apologies. So Bitcoin has an average of 5.15 TPS. Oh man, tragic. And then it looks like Ethereum was 20. Hyperledger Fabric at this time was 3,500. Visa was 1,700. And then Diem average about 3. Dang, that's sad. Yeah, so just something to look at. You guys can take the time to look at it. I'm not going to go too far into this document. Next document I have for you is the decline in access to correspondent banking services in emerging markets, trends, impacts, and solutions. With this one, it basically gives examples of alternative solutions to correspondent banking. Obviously, you know where this is going because Ripple has the technology to do that. I'm just going to read an excerpt from it. The model focuses on commercial cross-border interbank payments combined with cross-currency fund settlement. Ripple allows for a move away from establishing upfront correspondent banking relationships towards a more dynamic approach. This approach identifies a path for the flow of funds from a sender in a particular currency to a receiver in a particular currency through a series of participating institutions that offer services for that currency, essentially a bridge currency, which they're always advertising and putting out there. Just as a heads up, back to the article. This method can lead to better discovery of prices for foreign exchange transactions and to expand access to such services for smaller remittance companies. Ripple's own cryptocurrency, XRP, is actively traded on several cryptocurrency exchanges. Ripple also operates its own exchange structured as a network described previously, in which the top currencies actively exchanged are CNY, USD, JPY, and EUR. In addition, other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ether are also actively exchanged. It's a very interesting article. It's 56 pages, so that may take a little more time to go through if you want to just skim it. Take a look, take the high points, take the low points, take your time to do that. This is another article I got for you. I'm just going to read this excerpt verbatim. I'm not going to take anything out of context whatsoever. This is 8 pages. It's also posted on my page as well. According to information provided by Ripple itself, the costs for cross-border payments have been reduced by 40 to 70%. 40 to 70%. Wow. That's crazy. Back to the article. Because the payment system uses XRP. Sorry, dramatic pause. Okay. The significant factors that have lowered costs are also due to the fact that participating banks only have to hold their local currencies and an account in XRP, which lowers the number of currency-specific Nostro accounts. For Treasury departments, this also reduces activities related to obtaining liquidity in currencies, as well as the relevant handling of currency exposures. The cost of meeting regulatory requirements have also been lowered because the throughput time and the available overall liquidity, there's that word, liquidity, boy, it just gives you tingles, right? Or highly fungible collateral have been reduced to a minimum. Long story short, Ripple, and XRP specifically, is efficient. Okay, that's what we take from that. That's also posted on my page. Take a look at it. Another article. Shout out to Alan once again. Enabling cross-border high-value transfers using distributed ledger technologies. This is from Bank of Canada. Very interesting. So it just gives some examples. It gives HTLC alternatives. I'm not going to go too much into this, but it talks about interoperability, things of that sort. It does mention Ripple by name. So that is posted on my page. You guys can take a look at that. This article is from JP Morgan. Blockchain and the decentralization revolution. The fourth industrial revolution is coming, whether you are ready for it or you get run over by it. Just a reminder. All right. So they do have a chart, and this chart, go figure, mentions Ripple. Would you look at that? It talks about market participants, distributed ledger, Fabric platforms. Not going to go too far into that, but Fabric blockchain platforms such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then it names Ripple. Just find that interesting that that's thrown in there. You can take the time to look through the article if you would like. The link is posted on my page. All right. Next thing. This is just a title that I just caught my eye. It's from tronweekly.com. Ripple has serious connections with central banks and even IMF. Here is how. We've mentioned this ad nauseum. Connections are going to be key in this new world we're going into, and Ripple knows a lot of high-level people. There's not a lot of digital asset companies that have the same connections. I'm just being honest. At least not that I've seen. If there is, please inform me. Please educate me in regards to that. But, they're always seen in the room with some of these high-level officials, from these governments, these central banks, World Bank, all these major banks around the world. And they're sitting in the same room. Like, that's got to say something. That's got to tell you, hey, you know what? Maybe something is coming, Maybe they're not just, kicking their feet up and, blowing smoke like, oh, there's going to be a new system. Oh, there's a new financial system coming. Oh, Ripple's going to be the future. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I just find it interesting. It caught my attention, so figured it would catch your attention as well. Next thing. And I'm just going to read the first, I'll read the first couple sentences. The central idea is, this is from the same article, my apologies. The central idea is still built around an international, non-national currency, and XRP could just fit the bill. Man, mic drop. Anyways, it already does in most ways. The IMF, acting together with the World Bank as a central bank for central banks, could use XRP as a settlement means between the banks of the world while keeping balance along with bilateral relationships. They don't have to trust one another, okay? Ripple is positioning themselves to be a bridge. XRP will be a bridge. Not sure why it's still confusing at this point, but we will continue. All right, next thing. Digital assets from fringe to future. This is from BNY Mellon, okay? This is a major player. If you've never heard of BNY Mellon, just Google it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Anyways, it talks about some of the blockchain companies that might be considered unicorns, and I look at that in a positive light. And would you go figure, look at that. It has Ripple noted on there. How ironic. That sounds like a company that's going to go away, right? Okay, anyways. Yeah, so definitely look at that. It's 16 pages, so you can go through it. It talks about a lot of different other topics in there as well. So just take the time, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Take the time to look at it. Next thing, blockchaintest.com. This is from Grayscale. It's basically an introduction to XRP. It explains XRP for those that don't understand it, the technology, why XRP, what does it do, etc. So take the time to look at that on your own time, and it would definitely give you a broader understanding in regards to use case, etc. So next thing, this is the last portion. I'm just going to address a question that I received from a gentleman, Pirlea Gavril. All right. First thing, thanks for your time making content for all XRP Army. Second, when XRP goes to the prices 3 to 4 to 5 digits and take the crown from BTC for number 1 place, can't wait for that day. What will happen with the crypto market considering that Bitcoin halving and the 4-year cycle move the market? Bitcoin will still impact the market? Question mark? We will still have the 4-year cycle? Question mark. How's it going to impact the bull and bear market time frame? Thanks in advance. P.S. Romania has done blackout simulations. The neighbors from Moldova, some people moved in Romania because of the blackouts. Okay, well, thank you so much for that question. I sincerely appreciate it. Sound like a panelist. Anyways, so in regards to the market, I think, this is just my opinion, this is broadly speaking, when utility and some of these market makers come in and these institutions start pushing money behind, the digital asset space, I don't think we're going to see as many wild swings in regards to price. This is just my opinion and my thoughts. Now, specifically with Bitcoin, I don't think Bitcoin will go out of existence. There's ways they could do that. They could really regulate it out of existence. They could stop mining or, have some kind of ban in regards to carbon footprint, and that would probably regulate that out of existence, just as a thought. But like I said, some businesses already do hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet, which is perfectly fine, all power to them. But I do feel like Bitcoin will still have its 4-year cycles. I don't think that's going to change whatsoever. Obviously you can't mine any more Bitcoin at the end of the day either. There's a cap on that in regards to the max that will be in existence. So I think people will still own it at the end of the day because there's a lot of powerful people and, high level of people that are behind Bitcoin, and they support the technology, the utilization. Some of them don't even like altcoins or anything other than Bitcoin. So, I think those people will still be there at the end of the day, but I think that eventually there will be more options that open up to some of these institutions, and, whether it's people, institutions, individuals, however you want to look at it, they're going to have different options in the future. I don't think it's going to be 21,000 or however many cryptos it is currently now. I think a lot of those will go pretty much to zero, just in my opinion. Like I said, I could always be wrong. Who knows? They could all be here forever. I don't know. But I think that some of this money is going to start funneling into these utility tokens, and then once these, institutions and businesses and start realizing that, hey, we can actually save money using, so-and-so digital asset versus so-and-so digital asset, I think that might change the market a little bit and how things move. Might even take some of the market share of Bitcoin. I mean, this is just my opinion. Like I said, this is once utility comes in. Obviously, utility regulations, there's a lot of different factors that go into this. So, just take that as a caveat. But I do think at some point, XRP probably will be the number one. This is just my thoughts. Like I said, we're all entitled to our own. I respect other opinions. All power to you in regards to that. Now, hopefully that addresses that. I don't think Bitcoin will be moving the market as much once some of this institutional money starts flowing in, especially once utility and everything starts ramping up. I don't think it'll have as many wild swings as we see currently because it is a young market. Obviously, it's not very liquid. If people start putting money into this market, then obviously that limits the volatility over time. So, I feel like it'll still be around. I don't think it will be number one. This is just my thoughts, but I think it will still be here. And then you asked, how will it impact the bull and bear market time frame? That I'm not sure about. I'm not even gonna act like I understand how to read charts whatsoever. I just like researching things and looking into things that actually work. um, I don't know. Right now, it's wild swings. It does affect the market highly when Bitcoin, fluctuates, whether it goes up, whether it goes down. It pretty much takes anything and everything with it. It's kind of like crabs in a barrel. So if one crab goes down, it's pretty much pulling down everything else. But I think there will be a point, like I said, when utility will take over, and that won't really matter. Okay, these wild swings and these wild, this wild volatility that we see, I don't think will be here in the long run. I don't know how far out that is, but like I said, whenever utility comes, I think that does change the game in a very substantial way. So hopefully that answers your question. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with someone you love. ISO Gold out. I will catch you on another video. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. These are only my opinions and not anyone else's opinions as well. Thanks so much for your time.